as the number of infected cases, number of cases, of course, is on the rise. The real number of unreported infections from the virus is believed to be way higher. The outbreak has now led to an increase in the number of countries that have been affected. And as of now, China has reported that over 14,000 people have been confirmed to be infected with the disease. But a shortage of test kits has led experts to warn that the real number here could be way higher. While the numbers of the infections and the death toll also has been setting daily records. A finding by scientists at Hong Kong University, like we just said, claims that over 75,000 people could be infected by the mysterious virus. The research published in The Lancet on Saturday is based on the assumption that each infected person could have passed the virus on to 268 others. The outbreak began in a seafood and poultry market in Wuhan, which is home to nearly 11 million people in central China. Chinese officials were beginning to grasp the threat of the new disease in Wuhan, but did little to inform the public at large, is what is being said. But when the Lunar New Year holiday was approaching, for which hundreds of millions of Chinese travel, the pandemic has led to a state of global health emergency, which reportedly could have been stopped by taking more steps if China had moved aggressively to warn the public and the medical professionals. It is also being said that the medical professionals who tried to sound an alarm were also acted against. Key state media omitted mentioning about the virus for weeks. In fact, those on the ground and the officials focused on maintaining stability and praising the party leader Xi Jinping as the crisis worsened on the other hand. Public health experts are now saying the Chinese government lost one of its best chances to keep the disease from becoming an epidemic. The virus outbreak has become a major challenge for China. A highly contagious pneumonia causing illness that infects the respiratory tract is now responsible for 304 deaths and counting. As Beijing scrambles to contain the crisis, the contagion has spread to all of mainland China's 31 provinces, municipalities and autonomous regions, as well as to at least 22 other countries. And speaking of that report, our correspondent Grace Lee sent us this report from Hong Kong. This is what she shared with us.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of reaction from in and around Asia at this time because of the fact that a Wuhan man in the Philippines is now reported to be the first case of a death outside of China due to the coronavirus. Now, countries around this area are really rapidly trying to shut down their borders and their access to mainland China, to and from that area. And Hong Kong has announced a couple of measures to restrict travel to China, but it hasn't closed down its borders quite yet. Meanwhile, New Zealand, the Philippines, Singapore, all these nations are now restricting travel pretty firmly to China, and the U.S. is one of those countries as well. Now, China has had reaction to this, saying that this shows that the U.S. and other countries are not acting in confidence with China and its ability to contain the situation. And of course, the WHO has been pretty clear about the fact that, China has done a good job so far in trying to contain the virus. Only one death so far outside of China is pretty remarkable, according to officials there. But still, there is a lot of paranoia mounting over concerns on the virus, and healthcare workers here in Hong Kong are planning to go on strike on Monday. Doctors, nurses, they're angry about the fact that Hong Kong still won't shut down its border completely. Now, the WHO has recommended that countries do not shut down their borders to China. They think that this won't really help in the situation. The best thing that you can really do is be vigilant and make sure that if you've been to China recently, you report that, self-quarantine yourself if you've been there recently and you feel ill. All these measures, but the economic impact that we're expecting to see because of these travel restrictions will be quite broad, and there's a lot of worry of what the world economy might look like in a couple of months because of the coronavirus.